Welcome back to the Sunday Business Page.
Well, these are certainly challenging times for Pennsylvania's state colleges and universities. Finding sufficient funding for these important institutions of higher learning has been a struggle. With a drop in the number of students at some of our state colleges, there is a move to re-examine the Commonwealth's funding of these institutions.
The way we've always done things simply isn't good enough anymore. Change is on the horizon.
Chancellor Frank Brogan, who oversees the 14 state universities, announced a sweeping review of Pennsylvania's public higher education system that could lead to the closing or merger of one or more of 5 area schools: California, Clarion, Edinburgh, Indiana, and Slippery Rock.
We're facing several consistent challenges. One is a decline in enrollment, generally speaking. We see that as a direct result of the baby boom echo and the fact that there are just less college-age students.
Just when the state legislature cut back state funding, student enrollment dropped more than 10%. In this region, California is down nearly 1,900 students, Clarion down 2,100, Edinburgh down 2,500, and Indiana down 2,300. Only Slippery Rock has held its own with no student losses. And competition is keen, says college counselor Megan Colt.
Now you have to have the lazy river, you have to have the climbing wall, dining services have to have, your sushi bar. So they're competing against a lot of private schools that have all the bells and whistles.
Private schools offer more scholarships to even the costs, while community colleges cut the state school price in half. In their strategic review, Board Chair Cynthia Shapira says everything is on the table, but
any conclusions whatsoever are completely premature.
And we're pleased to welcome back Dr. Karen Whitney, president of Clarion University, to the Sunday Business Page. We're interested in Clarion's plans for the future and its efforts to manage current state financial challenges. Dr. Whitney, always good to have you on the show. Thank you, Karen, for coming back. This is a very difficult and a very challenging time for universities like your own and many of the others in our system. And obviously, with this review getting underway and a look-see at your institution and all the institutions as to whether there should be mergers, there's really a pressure on, I think, each of the institutions to excel. So tell me where you are right now and how you think you're going to meet the needs here.
Well, let me put you this way. Clarion University next year is going to be celebrating its 150th anniversary. We're thrilled about that. Public universities don't close, they change.
Right.
They're changing across the country. They're changing in this state. It's a call for real material change in how we operate, in what we're teaching, and how we engage learners. At Clarion, we've been at the forefront of change for many years, often well reported in this region.
Right.
And we've been working on what we're teaching to be what I call really relevant to the interests of our students. We've now become what I call student-driven in what we offer. That's why we're really focused on professional preparation programs in education and business and healthcare.
Are your numbers going up as a result?
They are. They are going up very slowly. Very, very slowly.
Right.
They are going up. We're at maximum in our nursing programs. They've been doubling every year. We've seen a 24% increase in early child special ed programs this year. We are seeing in those areas that are very clearly meeting the interests of prospective students, that are showing them a pathway to successful professions that are in demand in Pennsylvania, we're hitting it out of the park.
Right.
Nutrition and fitness, data analytics, criminal justice. So we're changing from a state university model that was built in the 70s and 80s of one size fits all,
right,
broad in scope, which was fine for the time. Now you're going to see, I believe, in Pennsylvania, and this review is going to help us.
Right.
It is not going to hurt us. Clarion is not closing. Clarion is changing.
I think that's great news for a lot of people who have an affinity to Clarion. I think it's also important that high school students, we had the individual on there talking about what high school students are looking for, sushi bars. I mean that's just, I know, but that's kind of the way it is, and you have to address what students want too.
There is a college experience that any 16 or 17-year-old hopes for, but I'm still here to say the research is clear. The number one thing that students pick is academic interest.
Right.
Thank God.
Right.
It's the academic interest. Now, the sushi bar may be third or fourth down, or the winning football team, or a new residence hall versus one that was built when you or I went to college.
Right.
But truly it is academic interest first. The idea of they either have a dream or they're building their dream for life, and is that university going to help them get there, truly is overriding. That's again why you're going to be seeing mission distinctiveness coming out of these state universities.
Which means that each of the universities, let's just take the ones in our area, are going to have unique offerings.
Absolutely.
Cal U will have something that's different from Clarion,
Yes.
that's different from Slippery
And that's
Rock.
fine. That's part of change, and that's part of knowing this larger market, which is actually very mobile.
Right.
Students in this metro area and beyond are very mobile.
Sure.
And in fact, actually, across the country, students attend 2 to 3 colleges. And we're getting transfer students coming in as well as new students. There's a new dynamic here, and that's why the idea of someone who wants a simple answer to a complex problem doesn't understand higher education.
Right. Let me ask you this question, Dr. Whitney, because financing is very important to parents. And you look, for example, you could send your child to CCAC or one of the community colleges in all the counties around here for a couple years and then decide to go to Clarion to finish up a degree. And you're saving money in the process, but you're denying an institution like yours that first and second year tuition that you might like. Is there a way to price our state school system in a better way so that it's more competitive, or do you think they're priced well now?
I can tell you right now, the number one reason students pay more today is because the state is paying less today. I mean, there are sensational stories of the sushi bar or other things that might capture or distract our attention, but that is the one inescapable fact that as the state pays less, students pay more.
Right. And by the state paying less, we're talking about the state legislation.
Funds. That's right.
The state legislators are giving less money than they used to.
And I'm sympathetic. They have a tough job. I wouldn't want it, but that is undeniable, that relationship. So in this Commonwealth, if there is an appetite for students to pay less, then they need to have an appetite to instruct their elected officials to fund more or whatever. But no, there are core issues going on here, and being distinctive is good. It is not a bad thing. In this review, the Chancellor mentions, I think, is an excellent opportunity for all of us to reflect on how we contribute.
Bottom line, in 10 seconds, Clarion University is here to stay. You're going to be here past your 150th
That's right, and we're going to help people enter in those professions and have successful lives and livelihoods.
Dr. Karen Whitney, it's always great to have you on the show. Thank you for your expertise. Much appreciated.
Thank you, sir.